Hey, Father Michael here. Slept in today, partly because I had 5 Amber Alerts blowing up my phone around midnight last night. Like maybe 10 or 15 minutes apart. And to make it worse, several of them were mistakes, and they were reissuing old ones that had been resolved. And then I couldn't sleep. So, anyway. The springtime weather is over. We're back in the winter. I'm back in my winter fleeciness, like I'm playing the role of a lamb at the church Christmas pageant, but it is what it is. As a dad who raised 3 sons, and those of you who have raised sons, you'll know exactly where I'm going with this. Man, that was a struggle. And the worst of it probably was learning to live in less than optimally clean conditions. I don't think I was as anal retentive about cleaning as my mother was. For example, we did not have a spring cleaning spree with a toothbrush cleaning the gasket on the refrigerator. However, some basic minimal cleanliness is always appreciated from me. The early years of having boys is really a lot easier. You don't realize it at the time, but it really is, because the bathroom tends to stay clean because they're only going to bathe or shower, like once a month, if you let them get away with it. And they'll eat whatever you put in front of them because they either don't know how to prepare their own food, or they're just too lazy to know, to want to know how to even do it or to engage in the process of making food. Another plus, they are much more willing to endure those cleaning days on a Saturday morning, when the novelty of running the vacuum or washing down the banister with Murphy's oil soap is still kind of fun because dad's trying to make it fun. But then the darkness descends and they discover girls and puberty, probably not in that order. And now everything that you think or you thought you knew about them, all of that is suddenly, it's called into question. The dirty kid, who had to be threatened with a taser in order to get in the shower, is now showering all the time, morning, noon, and night. The amount of laundry quadruples, like overnight. Before, they would wear the same socks, underwear, jeans, and t-shirt literally until they became so threadbare they fell off their body. Now they're changing their clothes all the time. And, God forbid we wear something twice, even if it's still clean, especially when it's much easier to just ball it up and drop it somewhere on the floor. There's also the unfortunate discovery of pizza delivery and late night gaming with friends, which means now their rooms are constantly full of food crumbs and empty cartons and half-empty 2-liter bottles of soda, with even more piles of clothing thrown in just for the hell of it. And the bathroom. Once they start shaving those little bits of hair on their face, you can kiss the clean sink goodbye. That beard stubble ends up everywhere, even on the floor. There were many days when I would get up early in the morning because I've always been an early riser, and I would find teen beard stubble in the sink, along with, a not so pristine shower and tub area, no toilet paper on the dispenser, because apparently it just gets there by magic. And they don't even know what that process might look like. And I would think to myself, God, I hate it when they don't wipe out the sink or flush the toilet. That's another issue. And so then I would shower and head downstairs to work to make coffee. And then I would realize that they had been up in the middle of the night and they had made those revolting, misnamed pizza rolls and left the pan out and left food out. And sometimes the oven had been left on all night. So now the kitchen is like a toasty 90 degrees in the summertime. And I would think, oh my God, I hate it when they can't at least clean up the messes they make. And then running around the whole downstairs looking for my darn car keys. That part has not changed. I would find, again, usually more piles of clothing in places where they didn't belong, towels, napkins on various chairs, sofas, side tables, to the point that I couldn't tell if, were these things part of the clean laundry that they were supposed to fold and put away? Or are these more dirty clothes that they've just stripped off at the last minute and dropped on their way upstairs back into their piggy little clubhouse bedrooms? God, I hate it when they just don't pay attention to finish anything that they start, I would say. Well, that was a long time ago, actually, but I'm still remembering the frustration. It's over 25 years, to be honest. And now, I no longer have my sons living with me. One of them lives out of state. The other two rest in the arms of God. And the new house stays tidy if I keep it that way. There's never any beard stubble left in the bathroom sink these days. The dishes are always done. The dirty laundry is not scattered around the house or even in my room. It is where it belongs, in the bathroom hamper. And the house is never chaotic. It's never loud unless I decide to crank up some Arabic techno or something crazy like that. There's never any discussion or redirection about who's going to do what to keep the place operational, because it's all on me, basically. And I like it that way for the most part. For the most part. I'm not the kind of guy to spend a whole lot of time dwelling on past regrets. After all, I don't even own a DeLorean, so there's no way that I can go back in time to undo any of my mistakes or choices. So I have to accept the past for what it is, just like you do. But in the event that I ever could go back in time to those chaotic years with all three of my boys making messes and testing my sanity and resolve and driving me crazy and provoking arguments and all of that, I would go back. But this time would be different because I would focus on the essentials and not the details. I would let them know every day how much I loved them. Maybe several times a day, just to be super annoying for them. so that they would never doubt the power of my love. In other words, I would live every single frustrating, exhausting day of parenting with a hell of a lot more gratitude. Luke chapter 11, verses 34 and 35, Jesus is speaking, "Your eye is the lamp of your body. And if your eye is healthy, your whole body is full of light. But if it is not healthy, your body is full of darkness. Therefore, consider whether the light within you is not darkness." That verse from Luke reminds me that we all see exactly what we want to see, what we choose to see. Perception is reality. If we choose to see the negative, then yes, the world is full of darkness. But if we choose to focus on the light instead, then our whole being is suffused with light. We get to decide. Every single day, we get to decide. And if we decide to see things differently in a more positive way, then maybe we can attend to our own faults and shortcomings as well as those annoying beard, stubble shortcomings of others with a lot more patience and grace. Today then, let's use the lamp of our bodies, our eyes, a little bit better. Pray with me. Loving, mighty God, healer of all our brokenness, we open our hearts in this moment to your divine, transfiguring presence, grateful for all of the challenges you have sent us in this life. Help us today, whatever we are going through, to choose to see the light, to choose to be positive in every transaction of today, every encounter with those you send us, that we might, for our part, be a lamp for them as well. Amen. And now may the God of peace, the God of light, be with you today and with all those you love and with all those you don't like. With the blessing of our mighty God, Otca i Synu i Świętому Duchu. Do pobaczenia.